Have another beer, buddy.
Chatty chat. I think that they probably said that being shorter is advantageous.
Well, they need to teach me then. There you go. So we had to poke a little fun at him. Call you Ginger Swag.
Yeah. If you weren't bowlers, what would you have liked to have done instead? Anything else. Literally anything else.
That's a great answer.
The horse is so dead that it's on some kid's school project on a landfill already.
And there you have it. No. We'll talk about that one more.
Terrible idea.
What up?
What's up?
How's everybody going?
All right. So, y'all, we have a very packed show tonight. I think it's actually a good thing that Trevor and Dylan couldn't join us tonight because there would be way too much to talk about. The current Open Championships doubles leaders are a couple of our friends, and Jonathan actually was in their group. So we're going to have them on to talk about what went right for them. We've also got the Shark Championship going. We've had a lot of World Series of bowling this week, and then the World Championships on Saturday, I believe, or Friday or something like that. And we'll be watching the PBA just the way I like it, muted so I can't hear Randy. So we'll be doing play-by-play on that. You just got back from Nationals. You bowled last Tuesday, Wednesday. You're going to Greater Ozarks this weekend. I had Southwest last weekend, and so we've got PBA. We've got our own tournaments. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So, and we're going to do it all while watching the Shark Championship. We've got Jesper versus Tom Smallwood up first, then Tim Foy, then Packy, and then EJ Tackett.
Being the juggernaut that he has been in the World Series of bowling, yeah.
Yeah, see if he can actually
pull one off.
Actually come through and get it done tonight. He's been on, this is his 5th show in a row.
Insane.
The Albee Classic that he got second in. Jesper's throwing the red ball to start off with. Blech.
Shocker.
Specto, this is the reason you use your eyes and not numbers. Specto was so far off last night, it just doesn't make any sense. It kept saying that I kept noticing that EJ was in EJ's match. It kept saying he was getting to the 2 board, and I'm like, well, that ball's not getting anywhere close to 2. And so I watched it a couple times. He's hitting 5-6 every shot, and Specto is saying it's like 2-4, 2-5, whatever else. And then watch some on the left lane. It's like, oh gosh. And then they had some of the lines were like all over the place, and so it was just bad.
Yeah, I actually did not get to watch last night's show because I was actually bowling at Gage. Unfortunately, I'd rather have been watching the show. But I saw all that stuff on Specto, and it's hilarious. I saw the one where it goes down the lane and then just goes dead left.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad that it's a meme today. Plus, whoever filled out somebody's card the other day had the Ion Max, the Ion Pro, and the Origin all ranked 9.0, and that's so far from being accurate that
I saw that a couple of nights ago. I don't remember who put like the Ion Pro at a hook potential of 9. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't understand.
So
Jesper's throwing the red ball. Smallwood is throwing the Jackal Onyx.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't be surprised if EJ's either throwing that or the Evoke when it gets to him.
Yeah, the Evoke Hysteria. This has been basically an infomercial for the Evoke Hysteria for like 4 solid days now.
Today, earlier in the round of 8 against Landon, he was actually throwing the OG Evoke. So, So curious to see which one comes out. Yeah, Hupe is who it was.
Yeah.
And Nico, yes, I can answer the ever popular question of how expensive is the booze in Baton Rouge? It's actually $7 a beer. And come to find out, I found out the hard way. I bought the first bucket. I was like, hey, guys, you want me to get a bucket? And Amanda calls me later after I'm done. It's like, hey, are you done? Yeah, I'm all done. What's up? So what did you buy at the convention center? That's $55. I was like, well, I bought a bucket of beer. So newsflash, a bucket of beer is $55.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So the good old Reno experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'd pay $7 a beer if, you can't go anywhere else to get a beer and you're kind of bowling, just want one, but $55 for a bucket's a little asinine. But I do have on my trusty Mizzou Tigers tonight since it's March Madness Eve, even though, yes, there are some play-in games tonight. But my boys are going to take an L tomorrow against Drake. But I'm going to support.
I hope not, because I had them go in a few rounds.
God, I hope so. If they go a few rounds, I'll be happy.
KU going out the first round was about the easiest pick of.
I could see them losing to Arkansas.
Yeah.
It was actually, yes, cheaper to buy each beer individually. That's correct. But and also to answer your other question, I didn't get to hear Packy in the booth last night. I'm assuming you watched the show last night. So
Packy was very good in the booth. You could have just given him a microphone and just Randy has to have the only explanation is Randy has to have dirt on somebody or several somebodies. That's the only way he still has a job, because he just does not know what he's talking about. He says he doesn't pay attention to bowlers. He doesn't pay attention to equipment. He doesn't pay attention to anything. And you can tell sometimes when he's just chomping at the bit. One of his rants that's the same every time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was just so Randy's thing for the World Series so far has been, oh my gosh, what are these international bowlers going to do? Their first time on TV on a PBA telecast. It's like, these guys compete very seriously all over the world for all kinds of stuff. I can guarantee you they're not all nervous and fluttery over being in a finals match. It's like they've done it before. They're on a world stage in all kinds of other countries. This is just another finals of another tournament in a different country. They do it all the time. Overseas, they take bowling a whole lot more seriously than it's taken here. And it's not as dramatic or soap opera-y in other countries or whatever. It's their job. They take it seriously, but they're also very kind of even keel. And that's why you see guys come over here like Jesper, who's on the show tonight, or Mika or whatever, and they just come over here and they start winning instantly because they're just unflappable, really. Yeah. They've had the experience. And Randy keeps acting like, oh my God, I wonder how these guys are going to feel under the bright lights of the PBA facing some of the world's best. It's like, well, it seems like the world's best are all over the world and not just here.
Yeah. I would like to see them compete more than just in one building. You know what I mean? Just more in one building, kind of spread out, where you can kind of see them bowl, what it's like to do on a week-to-week grind. Because, I mean, if you get – not to mention, it's happened – 4 nights now that we've got an international winner. So obviously they've got game, but it would be cool to see how they would do, on an actual tour where they actually have to go and live the tour life instead of being in one building for a couple weeks. You get hot in a building. Hey, some guys like Reno, some guys don't like Reno. So
and it happens. I mean,
like that kid last night that won, I loved his game a lot. Super simple. Kid throws it good. He was in urethane longer than anybody. I mean,
well, that was the other thing is you can always tell that Randy's chomping at the bit to go into his urethane spiel, because as soon as the guy gets on there and he leaves a flat 10 with urethane, the first shot when everybody else has been using reactive all show, he's like, well, that's interesting. And you could just sense that he was, if it happened again, he was just waiting to give the old poor ignorant foreigners over here throwing urethane when all the good bowlers have been throwing reactive. And it's like, okay, well then he just shot the highest game of the finals and won the tournament, and it wasn't particularly close. So I don't know.
Randy is Randy, but my guess is somebody in the PBA has got they like his style, or they just don't have anybody else in mind, because he kind of gives it he's kind of the color commentator, but also at the same time he's the technical guru, because they have to fluctuate in and out between Rob Stone and Dave Ryan and the guy down by the river, Dave Fanta or whatever his name is. So I think he kind of wears two hats and he tries to do too much on top of it. But I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. So we're kind of stuck with him. Jesper with a nice little pitch there in the fourth. Still in the red ball, shocker. So for those that didn't follow the round of 8, Jesper was actually a loser in the round of 8. And he was the highest seeding loser, so he is seeded into the show as the 5 seed, which has confused a lot of people that haven't really followed along with the World Series. In this format at the World Series, the highest seeding loser in the round of 8 makes the program. So Luke's popping bottles on the show here. What are you drinking?
See, I was in Wichita, so I went to Central Standard, and I got a couple of the bottles that I like.
Oh, okay. All right.
Standard issue. So yeah, it's like a 20-ounce bottle. Yeah, it's 1 pint, 0.9 ounces, so 500 milliliters.
So last time on the show, Luke and I were sober and thought that was a terrible idea again. So now I'm drinking a big old giant Jack and Coke. I'm sorry, Jack and Sprite, not Jack and Coke, Jack and Sprite.
Yeah, I only had 2 beers the entire weekend, and the last time I had drank is the last time we were on the show. So,
oh God, I had a lot to drink in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
We found out the casinos down there, if you're gambled, even resembling you're gambling, you get free alcohol. So that turned out to be a bad thing. But
cool. Yeah.
So much I got sick in singles and doubles. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you said you weren't feeling so good.
Doubles I felt great, but single towards the end of doubles, woo. Nice. I called some dinosaurs in the trash can 3 times between the end of doubles and the end of singles. So.
Man.
And I wasn't hungover. I wasn't that drunk. I was just, honestly, Johnny's stomach wasn't feeling the best either. So I think it's one of those things where we didn't settle with us what we ate, because you got to remember we had the 7 a.m. squad the next morning. So
yeah,
that's got to be a $50 drink at Nationals House. Mixed drinks were okay. I didn't drink a mixed drink at the convention center, but I want to say a mixed drink is about $12.
Yeah.
So. About $12.
Yeah, the Randy drinking game. Every time you hear urethane, drink. Reference to a truck stop bathroom, drink the whole bottle. Or anytime EJ waves to the crowd after a shot. Holy crap!
Did you almost have a Tracy Morgan moment on the lanes? Good one. I did actually throw up, but it was in the trash can behind us. So you'll see when you make your way down there. For those that are bowling in the convention center, they have nice big trash cans back and behind you. And I called some dinosaurs in that trash can a couple times. It was embarrassing, but it was also cool at the same time that I got to see my boys tear them up next to me. So I had a front row seat to it. So if you guys seen that video, you can see I had a nice shiny head sitting there in the seat.
I forgot the Lockwood went with you guys, and so every time I saw the little ponytail, I'm like, who is that with that dumb little ponytail?
It's Lockwood.
the little pigtail or whatever. But
I know it. You know how many times that tripped me up the whole week? It tripped me up the whole week. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I want to cut the damn thing off.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, to each their own. But we're at a commercial break here. I did not catch the score in between commercial breaks here. Did you see it by chance?
What?
What the score was going into the commercial break?
Smallwood's got a fairly commanding lead. I was going to say he looks pretty sharp so far. He's only missed once, and Jesper, I believe, opened in the 3rd frame. I didn't see what it was, but
it was a washout. It was a washout.
Okay, and he hasn't struck a couple times. So, yeah,
got a fun packed show. Well, we got a break here. Let's talk a little bit about your Southwest. You and I haven't even had a chance, to talk too much about it. So I'm curious how things went. I mean, we kind of had a brief little conversation about how they played on the left, but I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah. So Trevor was right. They played weird this year and on both sides of the lane. Typically you can kind of play 5, 6, 7 or something like that. And it's kind of soupy in the middle. So you want to kind of ride the play a little straighter. If you get it in the track or inside, it gets wishy-washy. Well, it's completely opposite this year. If you got it outside of 6, you had no idea what was going to happen. Most of the time it was going to miss the spot. I had a couple washouts when I got it just a little bit out. It was very, very cliffed in the middle, or is very wet still in the middle, so you could play on the inside. But typically you don't want to play the track because you get that kind of little wiggle flat hit. So you want to get it started a little bit and kind of walk it in. No, if you got it outside 6 or 7, it was a mixed bag. You had no idea what was going to happen. And if it did get back to the pocket, it was probably going to be flat. There were a lot of 7-10s. So I found something after kind of screwing around in the team events. I didn't have a bet. Like my worst set was 650 all weekend. I shot 660 something in the first team. Then I went 650, 7-0 something, and 690. And so I didn't have anything really to write home about, but it was just very solid the entire time. And I figured out a better look for day 2 than I had on day 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were very weird this year. And then when transition hit and you kind of had to get in, that's when it got cliffy, because it was still kind of wet to the outside, but then you had burn in the middle, and then it was wet again inside. And so you had to catch the friction at the right spot, at the right distance down the lane. And then Tobias and I bowled singles and doubles with the women like you and I normally do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just nothing really ever developed. And when we did have to go to move, then it got wishy-washy. And so it was just, and I can see what Trevor was saying. It's like it really wasn't hard to get to the pocket. It was just really hard to get the ball through the pins consistently.
Yeah.
And we made it work pretty good. Tobias shot 785 in double. So we got to 1493. Our first team was just shy of 2,500. I was 2060 something for all events, and I shot 14 in the 6th game. And so, nice. I should cash in everything but the second team. It's not, 1490 I think is going to be pretty solid in doubles, but everything else is, I'm just probably going to barely cash in all events in the 6th game and singles. But I'm going to I should get a check for basically everything. So
that's a nice weekend then. Good.
Yeah, it went well, and I even fought through my frickin' fingernail continues to fall off, and I was bleeding all over the place, and so I had to.
The heck?
Yeah, I don't know. See, it grew in kind of funky, and then one side just kind of sheared off, and then the nail just kind of broke right in the middle, and so it just gradually, like, not this last Thursday, but the week before, it broke while I was in the middle of bowling, and so I stopped. I didn't bowl the last game, and then I gave it the whole week, and I bowled league again on Thursday because I thought, well, if I can't make it through league, there's no way I'm making it through 12 games in a tournament over the weekend.
Right.
It was fine in league, but then we just bowled so much. Saturday and then Sunday, finally the other side of it broke, and I was just bleeding everywhere, and so that was kind of annoying. But I still shot 1,400 in the middle of all that. So
yeah, no, that's pretty good. I was wondering what happened to your fingernail because you mentioned that you cracked. That's so weird. I'm sure that hurt like a son of a gun. Yeah, you can see it. I can anyways on my end.
You can see I don't know. There's not a whole lot of it there. Most of it's gone, and I was bleeding all over the place. So,
Nico, I can kind of get into that for you in just a second here. I had a little bit of success down there. I was pretty up and down, but I had enough where I'm going to catch a couple checks. I can tell you that. So that's a good thing. Unless you want me to get into that now, but I was gonna ask, like, in regards to the Southwest, how many weeks has that thing been going now?
It normally starts like the last third weekend of February or last weekend or something like that.
Okay, so it hasn't been going a ton of time yet, but
I think this was the 4th weekend, maybe.
Okay. So what I haven't been seeing a ton of big scores like 7 or 300s popped out. Usually, Southwest tournament every weekend somebody's posted a video 300 at North Rock and Southwest.
Yeah, we talked to Corey Clausing, and he said that they added a few mills this year, and so scores have been down. Somebody did shoot 800 there while we were bowling. There was a couple 300s and an 800 on the same pair, and then Spencer was bowling with us. Spencer Robarge, he shot 300, but he didn't really. He shot 690 in the first team, and then 300, 740 or 750 in the second team, and he didn't really. I don't think he really blew the doors off of anything, singles and doubles. Jason Elliott had a really good weekend. I think his low set was 720.
That's pretty good.
And then, of course, Tobias had the front 10 and shot 785 in doubles. Keeler had the front 10, 710, first game of doubles, and then he ended up shooting 790.
Okay, all right.
We had a lot of really solid scores come out of our group, and I think that they're when they went to the second team, I think they shot a 3580 or something. So 3590, almost 3600. So it was a good set, but leading right now is like 3740 or something. But yeah, not a whole lot of normally there's a lot of scores that come out of our group, and I think everybody bowled generally pretty well. It's just, when you're at Southwest, if you don't shoot 750 every set, it's just not.
You and I talked about this. If you don't start with the front 6 game 1 of each set, you're you're pretty much toast. But it's weird to hear. Yeah, that is the storm level. It's weird to hear you say that the gutters didn't hook at North Rock. That's very I mean, they don't hook at North Rock and on the Swiss pattern if you're right-handed, but outside of that, it's
Yeah, and it was exactly the same on the right side of the lane. The righties and the lefties had exactly the same look. It was the same thing. If you got it much outside of 6, you just didn't know what was going to happen. It either wiggle and completely miss the spot, or to get back and hook stop and hit flat, or if you got it out a little too far, a little too early, it'd check and go through the nose. And so you just really had no idea what was going to happen if you got the ball out there. And so it was best to just play, 7, 8, 9 as your break point. And if you tugged it a little bit, it would sit there. There were several times that guys that just throw the ball. And I know I had a couple of them where I threw the ball and I missed in and I turned around on it and it held. I thought it's like, okay, well, that's through the nose or something else. And it just kind of sat there. So very, very weird for North Rock.
Yeah, that's odd. First time I haven't bowled that tournament. Gosh, it's going to be years. It sucks. I mean, I probably could have hopped in with a group here late, but I'm bowling plenty here coming up. I'll be all right.
Yeah, the comments are cut off for some reason.
I'm saying they're.
Yeah.
Appearing on mine.
Restream pisses me off. I'm about to start looking at something else because they changed a bunch of stuff, and now the chat overlay is cut off and looks stupid. And when I was setting this up earlier today, I wrote down all the stuff in the description. I copy pasted all the links and whatever else, but then I write the little kind of thing in the description, and I got everything set, and then I went to add the thumbnail, and then when I got back, it had dumped everything from the description. And so I had to copy paste it again and then write all that shit all over again. And I don't know, Restream they changed things and it got significantly worse.
They're at least popping up on the screen for everybody, right? Like I can see them on our overlay.
Yeah, it's just cutting off the side of the longer comments. There's a Tom Clark in his Peaky Blinders hat.
Stupid hat. I hate that hat. It's been kind of cool to see Flanagan sitting in the back the last few nights.
Yep.
I couldn't tell if he's sitting there today. He might be.
Yeah, I think this match is over here.
Yeah.
Smallwood pretty well dump trucked him.
Packy's dad sitting in the back.
By order of the Peaky fucking Blinders.
I don't recall seeing the level on the TV before. I don't think the level has made a TV debut until tonight, actually.
So. No, and I think it was just one of those things that what he had wasn't working, and so what he had wasn't working, and so he's just gonna throw it because he already lost the game, and it really doesn't look that great. So I think the general consensus is that the level it's better than the Zen U, but it's just still too fast for what it's supposed to be. I think that's kind of what I've heard. So
yeah, the Smallwood just switched to the black Venom there and the fill. Didn't look too bad. Got a little longer down the lane than I expected, but they are on Shark, so
yeah. And I did talk to the scouting report. I did talk to Trevor today. He brought over some balls to have drilled, so
yeah.
I drilled him up some new stuff because y'all are going to Springfield this weekend for Greater Ozarks. We'll talk a little bit about that. But if you want to get into talking about nationals, I think we can pretty well wrap.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about nationals. So, like we said at the top of the show, I went to Baton Rouge last week and got back.
He went back to the red ball, and it just.
Did he really? I did.
Yeah, he went back to the red ball, and it just kind of fluttered and missed the head pin. So
I covered that one. But got back on Wednesday night, really, really late. Like it was like 2:00 in the morning, something like that. It was like a damn walking zombie when I walked in the house. I started off the weekend. We bowled a Bowler's Journal squad when I got there. And for those that don't know, the Bowler's Journal squad is on the singles and doubles pattern, and had a pretty good look. I shot 708, I think is what I ended up shooting in the Bowler's Journal squad. And that's 708 with an open in the 10th game 3. I had a chance to take the lead. I still would actually be in the lead in the Bowler's Journal now if I didn't. And it wasn't a bad shot. I just got firm.
Just got firm and cut out.
5.
Oh, there you are.
Just cut out?
Yeah, you said you got firm and you froze.
Yep, I got firm and pushed it through the break point. So when I pushed it through the break point, it gave me the washout, and I was hoping to cover it. Even if I covered it, I wouldn't have would have taken the lead. Actually needed strike and 8 to take the lead in the Bowlers Journal, and it would still be in the lead right now. Which there's still a lot of bowling to go. It'll get past, but unfortunately, the guy that shot 842, the senior, he's only in the senior division. So,
that's kind of crazy. And I mean, Dylan also had the all events lead for a minute, and I figured that one would probably go. They're still in first for doubles. They had a close call, 1390 something a day or two ago, and then. Singles has had a few lead changes now here too, but
Chad Murphy infiltrated his connection. Fun fact: while we were bowling one of the Bowlers Journal squads, we bowled. Chad Murphy showed up, so we got to see Chad Murphy for a little bit. Not
strut around for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, he strutted around for a few minutes, and the next thing you see, he's in Reno on every show every night. It's kind of weird and random, but whatever. Anyways, I might have cut out that point, but I literally was standing on 5, throwing it down 5. I mean, there was no angles at all, and it literally just walked the gutter. What you see from guys scoring, laying it up the gutter on singles and doubles is exactly what it's doing. I threw an effector, essentially all singles and doubles. The Bowlers Journal squad, I looked at a few other things. The Bowlers Journal squad, it was effector all 3. Doubles, I shot 680 in doubles. I left a lot out there. I rang a few 10s. I didn't miss any of them. Easily, that set could have easily been 720, 730 on a couple good shots that I thought could have went my way, but it's all good. But I mean, in between there is where I got sick, and I think I ended up shooting like 540, 530 or something in doubles. I just lost it. I felt like shit. Team event. Team event is definitely the shorter pattern. It's short and flat. The middle part of the lane is really flat. It hooks. I will be honest with you, for those that do sign up for a team practice session, it's crazy to think this, but it's not all that different between the two. Obviously, at All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it is a higher friction surface, but they are hooking significantly more in the convention center than you might think. None of us really had anything in team other than Dylan. I mean, I think the last game between Lockwood, myself, Johnny, Freed bowled really well down there. I don't know if you saw that or not, but Jared Freed bowled really good.
The front 10 one game.
Between the 4 of those guys, that was the highest with 148 the last game in team. They got brutal. But yeah, it's a fun trip. Singles and doubles. So if you go bowl the Bowlers Journal squad, they actually hook more to the left. So if you miss left, it's gonna go sideways on you. If you get into this convention center on singles and doubles, there is hold when you miss.
That's what Trevor told me.
Yeah, there is hold. So if you see something, you're like, holy crap, they're hooking a ton. At the Bowlers Journal, don't have fear. There's some shim there. So
yeah, it looks like it. I mean, the from the couple of singles lead changes that we've seen, it looks like everybody's just kind of firing it right kind of down the side. And
team event, I threw an Ion Pro and I threw a Theorem. So those are the 2 balls that I threw in team event. And then doubles, I threw all of doubles. I threw an effector with about 1,000 on it. I think I put a fresh 1,000 on it after both Bowler Journal squads I bowled. And then from there, I got into a Black Widow 3.0 that I left pretty lane shine because it had a good look at the team practice session when they started to go. It just got lazy, and I probably should have got out of it. But once again, I wasn't all there. So it's really frustrating when you have a good look and you don't feel good, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're just like, okay, I want to go home. So it's all good, though. I can't be mad at myself. I mean, I go down there and put a couple of good sets together. I'm going to catch a couple checks, so I'm not mad. I'm looking. Oh, and I am going to Reno now after I talked all that crap about Reno. Yeah, we're booked. We're going to Reno. So
yeah, Kyle's in the booth now, which should be pretty good too.
I can't hear him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody going down there. If you have any other questions, feel free to fire them away in regards to nationals. If you have anything, the weather was not bad down there in Baton Rouge. It was actually like it was here. For your reference, Luke, I think we were around the mid to upper 70s, 80s. It wasn't too bad. We Ubered everywhere. We had an expensive Uber bill at the end of it. But downtown Baton Rouge, where you're staying, where that Hilton is, it's a nice little area right there, and you're literally within walking distance to the center. So,
yeah, that'll be nice. But
All Star's about 15 minutes away from the convention center.
1,000 degrees when we're down there.
Johnny's got blood on a locker down there, so if you haven't heard that story yet, one of the lockers we picked our balls up and put them up one of the top ones. I tried to talk him in to lift them up and put them up there for me since they're heavy and tall. But he couldn't get it to close, and he's sitting there just bang, 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 bang. Next thing you know, I look up, it looks like Wilson from the where his handprints on it from Castaway. He's like, yeah, just cut the crap out of myself. I left my mark in Baton Rouge. I said, you know what? You're my hero.
Yeah, everyone does that. They bitch about Reno when they go. I'm not. But I don't normally bitch about Reno. I normally defend it to everybody, and then this last time it was so bad that we've already planned a family trip, and you haven't been there in a while. So
I have not, but I know it's a shithole.
Yeah, it's better than it was, but that's not saying much. And
it's terrible.
Yeah, you'll go and you'll bowl and it'll be fine and you'll regret it, but you'll. I
already know it's going to be.
But I mean, yeah, it's going to nationals. It's one of those things where people bitch about it every single year and this and that and whatever else, but they still go because it's nationals, and I get it. But
we did have a lot of good eating down in Baton Rouge. There's a place I highly recommend if you like seafood. I'm not a big seafood guy, but I really like gator, fried gator. That was the first time I'd ever had fried gator. The other times, I think I've said it before on the shows, blackened is the only other way I'd had it. But it's a place down there called Mike Anderson's. I think there's a couple of them, so I don't know the difference between them. This one's over closer to the baseball stadium and the football stadium. But I highly suggest Mike Anderson's. It was reasonably priced. A really good meal. So
cool.
Good food. Yeah, I didn't think, to be honest with you, food and stuff, I didn't think it was terrible priced. It's big enough that I don't think it's going to matter. Like Reno, they know they're going to corner you everywhere, so they're just going to hike the prices up and make you charge your arm and legs. You guys have frog legs. Luke loves frog legs. I will not eat frog legs.
Fish chicken.
Fish chicken. That's what you call it. That's right. I couldn't remember what you call it. It's fish chicken. No.
And once you get past the fact that they're frog legs, they're tasty.
No.
Very tasty.
Yeah, Dylan hates seafood, and he tried. We talked him into gator. Like first time, he's like, "No, I'm good. I'll pass." He takes one bite of it. I'm telling you, it was really good. And he has this face. It's like, I really like this, but I don't want to freaking tell him that. No. I'm like, dude, just say it. It's okay. Because he's got a face like, yeah. Like it melts in your mouth. If you get some good fried gator, I'm telling you, it literally melts in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is heaven. So
tastes a lot like frog legs.
No, it does not taste anything like frog legs. I guarantee it. You will not dupe me into that. Sorry. But yeah, anyways, Baton Rouge is a good time. I didn't mind it. For those that are going in June and July, I feel sorry for you. It's going to be hotter than crap down there. So
yeah, it was hot last time we went, and last time 12 years ago, we went in May.
Yeah, we went in June the last time I was there. The approaches aren't bad, but we also went in March. I will say the approaches suck, which doesn't matter to you because you plant, just for the viewers and people come back and listen. The approaches are worse at All-Star, where the Bowler's Journal is, than what they are,
I'm sure,
in the center. And the ones at All-Star are actually they're wood, but they're just tacky. If you're walking around the tile floor, your feet feel like they're sticking to the floor. But All-Star has got a huge concourse. I mean, the concourse in this building is massive.
Enterprise or
bigger concourse.
Oh, okay.
And it's like 70, 80 lanes. I can't remember exactly. It's massive. I ran into Brad Martin and Josh Brad down there. They came and watched this bowl. I guess he's down there for a residency, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I got a message from Amanda. It's like, hey, Josh reached out and wants to know when you guys are bowling. Wants to come see you. And then Brad actually sat there and worked remote while we were bowling. So it was cool to come go see him down there. But yeah, it's fun. You guys will have to let me know when you guys all go how it went. And like I said, our group had a good time. Paul, Trevor's dad, actually got to see an actual live gator in the water, so he was pretty pumped. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I drank more than I should have. But Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing how everybody does. I will still say though, if you can get into a team practice session, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, we've already got one after we started talking about
Yep.
what we were going to have to do for our nationals group.
Yep.
And we've had some interesting developments there over the last couple days.
Oh yeah, what?
So Dave had this because Ryan Klaus was asking me about it, and he's like, "Are we good on teammates?" And he's like, "Because I feel like we're a few people short, and we hadn't talked. We've got a Discord group for our nationals group, and we hadn't really talked to anybody." And so I knew that Bruce wasn't going. I wasn't sure about Dave with his health stuff, and I know that he really wanted to go at least to this one. I'm not sure if he's going to go again after this, or especially with the health issues he had going west last time.
Yeah.
If he's going to try it again, but I think he's at some milestone this year. So he really wanted to go this year, and he is going to go. Bruce, of course, isn't bowling. And then one or two other people, Ramsden's actually going to bowl. Oh. And then Timmy P is not going to bowl this time.
Discord Timmy P?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's not going to go this time, and James, of course, is with another group now. So Tim Foy with a big 4, first one out of the gate. He's been bowling really well this year.
I'd actually like to see him get a title.
But so we needed 3 people, and Dave came up with an idea. He's like, well, he had a couple of people in mind, and he thought, well, with their averages, I wonder if we could actually get into the standard division, because my nationals average lefty after last year is like, it was 195, and then last year happened, and so lefty, and so it's something like 190, 188, something like that. I'd have to look it up and see. Dave's about in the same place, but Brian Strickland averages 175, and they have this rule that your team average has to be under 875, but you also can't have more than 2 people with averages over 176. Which is the single standard division. Mm-hmm. Strickland comes in at 175 for his national.
Yeah, he just whipped a 4-pin.
Yeah, Smallwood just missed a 4-pin. Speaking of Waswell, just pulled a Brad Miller right there. Guy misses 1 4-pin on TV 8 years ago.
And he'll never live it down the rest of his life.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, it was basically for a title, wasn't it? Though.
What happened? What's wrong with Kimberly?
I think I don't know. I was looking at you when that comment came through. So did I miss something on Kimberly?
All right, so 9-8 in the first frame. So
you didn't finish what you're actually the dilemma, or
So and then the other 2 guys are definitely under the 176.
Okay.
And so Dave and I are both over. So we've got 2 people, but we don't have more than 2 people that are over. And then the team average would fit below the 875. So I think we're going to have Chaz floated me the idea. He said, hey, Dave had this idea. Would you mind bowling on a standard division team? And I'm like, well,
do it.
I'm a transplanted lefty. And so, and team has not gone well the last several years. But I'm like, let's do it.
We tried to build one this year, and I was going to bowl on that team.
Mm-hmm.
But we had the 2 of the guys that we had to have to make it work because my average was too high. Paul Bumgarner's is too high. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Gentry was also in our group, and he was too high. So we were trying to pick and move any way we could. And 2 of the guys that would have easily kept us under it, they backed out. So that really, really hurt us. But because Trevor's like, hey, would you want to bowl a team event for a standard? I was like, you tell me it's an easier chance to win an Eagle? Yeah. I don't give a shit if it's a standard division Eagle, if it's a regular division. An Eagle's an Eagle, baby. Sorry. I'm not saying I'm going to go win an Eagle, but if I've got a better chance bowling in the B than I do the A, there's no shame in my game.
Yeah, and I'm not left-handed, so I really don't care.
Yeah.
But Chaz was saying, is like, well, and that's kind of what I've told people when I go to tournaments, and I'm still a little shaky. Like I'm used to league or something like going to North Rock or going to Tulsa. I've got that stuff all figured out now. But if I still don't really know what to expect. in certain situations, certain places, certain tournaments. And so I'm like, just going ahead and put me on the B team. Don't worry about, because everywhere you go, you sign up for tournaments and kind of who's going to be on the good teams and who's going to be on the light companion teams, or the ones that, you're just going for the tournament. And there's a lot of those where we kind of mix people up.
Yeah. And
so it's like, I end up on a lot of B and C teams, and I'm completely fine with that, because that's kind of where I'm at right now. And so that's why I tell people is like, and so Chaz was wondering, is like, well, do you want to get some better bowlers, or, sort of higher average bowlers, so to speak? And it's like, no, I'm perfectly okay with making a standard team.
Yeah. Honestly, that's another thing I really enjoy about bowling with the Southwest with the Keeler group. Is the Keeler group, for example, you don't get a B team. All those teams are good. They all can have a chance to win. Everybody gets locked in and work together. I mean, I'm sorry, but I always felt like I had a chance to win if I bowled well and everybody bowled well. So
yeah, we had a really
Trevor's group for Tulsa. I'm not Tulsa. I'm sorry, for Springfield. We don't have enough teams. We put together an all women's team because they have a women's group or women's team divisions now.
Yep.
We've got a stack team, and then we've got another team, and then the other team always just kind of seems to be the misfits, which it is what it is. But not when I don't mean bad thing when I say misfits. It's just obviously you look at this team and you're gonna, okay, that team can win, and then you look at the other team and you go, that team might be able to get 45th. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not a knock. I'm on the team that can get 45th.
Yeah,
it's okay. I don't care, but I go down there and have a good time. I'm not a huge Springfield fan. Not a fan of the city. I'm just kind of burnt out on Springfield, so I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really curious, though.
Amanda's really not a big fan of Springfield.
No, she hates Springfield. Every time we drive by the hospital down there, I always tell her, like, hey, it's your favorite place.
Yeah, we can go stop by and visit.
Hey, you want to go see him? No, actually, shout out to that hospital. They were actually very good. Very, very good to her. So, but yeah, that's I'm not looking forward to that this weekend, so I can kind of report back. I'm really curious to see how team event plays. It looks like a giant flood.
Well, I was talking to Trevor about that too, because Zach Rhodes and Jesse and them just got back from that a weekend or two ago.
Yep.
And Zach said it didn't, of course, this is Zach, but he's like, it didn't feel like 35 mils. He said it's a little wetter than last year, but he said it didn't feel, there's volume, but he's like, it doesn't feel like 35 mils.
Yeah. And then I talked to Crouch last night, and he basically said the opposite. He said, just nothing hooks. But he also throws it quite a bit harder too. So, but I don't think he said he bowled great, but he didn't say he bowled bad. He said he threw an effector the whole time. He said he threw one the whole weekend. So, I don't know what I'm going to take yet. Honestly, I feel like I'm just getting back from Baton Rouge. So, I'm not really sure what to take. I'm going to take probably a combination of like effector, theorem, probably an NV tour. I'll probably take an NV tour because I do see a big difference in my opinion, for me and my ball rolling game. I see a big difference between the two.
There is.
The effector is way more aggressive on the back. Like that thing is way flippier. My NV tours are all early and slow. The effector is the opposite to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may feel the same on yours. I don't know, but it's definitely that ball's stronger than people think it is. So
yeah, the NV is quite a bit earlier and slower. Mm-hmm. The effector is definitely cleaner and fair bit sharper.
Oh yeah, no, I like it a lot. I'll probably take obviously I take a plastic ball. I got to drill a new one because I almost lost my thumb. Did I show you? Did I ever send you a picture of it? I almost lost my thumb in.
No, I don't think
I pulled it off the rack at like game one of doubles, game one of singles, and I lost a giant chunk underneath the bottom of my thumb, like where it was cracking. It just came out, and the about that much of the thumb slug is exposed. So I'm like, shit, do not lose my thumb slug down here because so I threw it last night just because it's all I had. That's why tomorrow I'm glad I'm going to take care of that. Didn't really want to risk the biscuit for another night, but yeah, it was pretty bad. I was hoping it was like, please do not lose this. But no, I haven't really thought all. I know for a fact the NV Tour, FX Tour make the bag. There's one that I've had success with down there in Springfield. Remember my Defender, the original Defender? That cover's still in pretty good shape. I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to throw it. Probably look pretty good in singles and doubles, at least. Probably a Black Widow 3.0. Probably take and maybe just kind of keep it shiny. Not really shiny, but lane shined up. It's a pretty good look for it. Outside of that, I don't really know. I do really want to drill one of the new phase or the IQ AIs. I do want one of those. Ball looks really good. But yeah, I can think more about it here. I haven't really thought too much about it, so I feel awful we're going to talk about it. So, but I can report back on what they're going to play like. Singles and doubles looks like it's gettable. And from people that have bowled, it sounds like that's the case. There's some score in singles and doubles. Doesn't look awful, but everybody I've talked to from team says scores are low. So like if you want to grind fest to make some money in brackets, Sunshine's the way to go.
Yeah, I think that's kind of normally difficult, but this is just probably even worse than it normally is. Yeah.
So. When do you guys go to that?
First weekend of June, so that's still another couple months away.
Oh yeah, you're going to Branson and all that though, aren't you?
Yeah, we pair it with a Branson trip. So shame
on you. It's a terrible idea.
Yep.
I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a message while I'm down there because we bowl team event on Saturday at noon, so I can send you a message, let you know how kind of what Trevor was doing and what we've seen down there. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure we'll break him up. I'm probably going to take like the effect tour, throw a bunch of service on it, and try and burn up the gutter, and just give myself something off the gutter and go from there. So, everybody else besides Paul on my team shouldn't be anywhere near there. So if I can find something over there, then I should be over there by myself the whole time. Kind of similar to when we were a couple of years ago when we bowled, and I don't remember what I was throwing. I was throwing one of the Black Widows, but remember when I was playing the gutter over there by myself? Nobody's over there. If I can kind of sit in there and be there by myself, it should be fine. Honestly, if I go in there and shoot 640, 650, I'd run away and do backflips.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my opinion. I hate Springfield. I've never really had success. A couple of times I've gone down there and bowled okay, but I've never gone down there and be like, man, I can't wait to go back. So, and then I have the Mexican American 2 weeks later in Emporia. So. It's a fun tournament. It's always fun to go to an Emporium Bowl. It's like 50 minutes from my house or something like that. I'll go down there and spend some time with Johnny. So that's why I asked you if you wanted to bowl because we'll all be down there. So it's just it's a team event and then singles and doubles. I think we bowl singles and doubles on Saturday and then team event on Sunday. So.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make that one. I talked to Angel about it, and I think we are going to bowl the Easter tournaments. I don't know what we're doing for that yet, whether she just wants to bowl one of them or whether they're in whichever that one is, or if we're going to bowl both of them, and then I'm going to the Dutchman later in the month. So, and we just finished with our bathroom remodel. So
yeah, I get it. For anybody that goes back and watches this at local, I need a partner for Easter weekend at Royal Crest. So if anybody wants to throw a sympathy partner out there, come bowl with this loser, I need a partner. So raise your hand. It'll be Saturday. It's Saturday. What's Good Friday? I can tell you. Just a second. It looks like, so it'd be Saturday the 19th. So Saturday the 19th, I need a partner.
And that's Easter weekend? We may not bowl then. I didn't realize it was that close. I thought it was earlier in the month. So we may.
That's why when I asked you the other day, you're like, I have no idea. It's too far away. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, buddy, it's a month.
So yeah, with it being that, I guess we probably won't bowl it then. With it being that close to me going to Pennsylvania, so we may not even bowl either of them. Normally we do because we bowl at Royal Crest, and so if that's obviously closer for us too than driving to Belton or something like that. And so we try to make those. But yeah, with it being that close to, we probably won't bowl them if it's going to be that close to.
Yeah, you're not missing out on the over/under too. By the way, it's going to be 4 on a lane for 6 games at Summit on the house shot.
Yeah, that's okay.
I feel like I'm going to need to eat my Wheaties because I'm going to have to throw it really hard.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I remember that from last year, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't end up doing that. And I think the last
Weren't you on my pair?
Huh?
Weren't you on my pair?
I think it was a couple years ago because I remember the last time I bowled it was with Jeff Alton.
Yeah, I thought that was last year.
It was a couple years ago.
It was at Summit, though, but I think you were on my pair.
It was last year. I don't even know.
I bowled with the same partner every year for the over 50, under 50. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jess, I'm looking forward to hopefully you're going to be back at the KCO. So let's hopefully get to see you and the family at KCO. I know you're going to Springfield with Luke here soon. So jealous. You guys are good people. So
I think
look forward to seeing you again.
I think Jason Nelson's going to make KCO this year too.
I thought I saw something about that.
Yeah, he was asking us about it the other day. So hopefully he can.
That's a good dude right there. I like that guy a lot. And him and I come from the same stomping grounds too. So we're both KC Mo boys. Spangler
with that glorious mustache.
You know what? As good of a season as Motive's having, if he shaves that thing, he's a moron.
Yeah.
And if I was Motive, I would tell him they'd make it contractually obligated to grow that mustache every single year before the season starts. Am I wrong? I mean, nobody's touching Motive right now.
No.
And you can say it's EJ. It's EJ. Hell, we had almost a whole show the other night with Motive guys.
Yeah. And I think it's just one of those things. Motive stuff is probably the best out there for tougher conditions right now because it's diggy like the Brunswick stuff, but it's smoother. So it still sees the lane really well like the Brunswick stuff. I've thrown this Jackalonics quite a bit, and I like it. And I'm on Motive's seed list now, so I'm getting everything. Getting all the stuff now. I like that. And obviously you've seen the Evoke Hysteria all over the place. I got it out a couple times at Southwest and it wasn't the ball. But it's going to league and I'm going to be throwing it plenty in league. But I think the Motive stuff, the big deal for me that I notice is that the Motive stuff is very forgiving left to right. If you get slow, they're going to dig in. And if you get fast, they're going to be slow or flat. But you have, that from side to side. If you get it in, it's just going to sit there. And if you get it out, it's diggy enough to get back. So it's just, if you can get a Motive ball through the pins the right way, it's going to give you probably about the most forgiveness out there. I think the Brunswick stuff is definitely the sharpest. The Brunswick stuff, if you want to throw it at the spot and trust it to finish every single time, then you're going to want to drill a Brunswick ball. The problem on tougher conditions is that sometimes they can be a little too fast. And then the Storm stuff is quite a bit weaker. So if you're on volumes like that, like it's controllable, it's easy to get to the pocket, theoretically speaking, but they're just kind of weak.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. And if you sand them, they get quite a bit stronger. And then as they shine up, they fall off a cliff. So
newsflash. Also, if you ball change with a Motive ball, it'll do the exact same thing every time.
Yeah. The shapes are all very similar. So, I could go from a Jackalonics to an Evoke Hysteria, and the Hysteria's cleaner and sharper, but they shape pretty similarly, and it's just going to be cleaner and faster. The shot shape is very familiar, and I'm probably going to be doing virtually the same thing. It's just finding the strength level really that you're after.
Yeah. I probably bowled 15 tournaments when I was under contract that I literally wanted to go cry in a corner. I'm being serious.
This
is the God's honest truth, and we're bowling. This is a tournament at Royal Crest. It's just I think we're bowling on some kind of a pattern, and I make a couple ball changes throughout the day, and I don't remember. I was probably throwing a Jackal Ghost or a Venom Shocker, and I ball changed something else, and I'm like, I think I got down to like a Venom Recoil, and it doesn't matter. Thinking, this is a pretty good move. I make a little move with it, and I come back, and Luke is just laughing his ass off. Yeah. And I'm like, what is so funny? He's laughing. He's like, the ball just did the same exact thing, but it's different. I'm like, I'm glad you think it's freaking funny, all right? Because I'm ready to go freaking punch something in the parking lot. So needless to say, they were good to me. So I'm not going to badmouth the company. They were great to me. I had great opportunities. So I'm not, but I was ready to fight myself. I was going to Tom Hess myself if it kept going.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Yeah, did you see that?
Well, duck hooked. I don't think he did anything wrong there.
By the way, the new spare ball I'm drilling is that color.
Mm-hmm.
It's the white dot one. Ooh,
All right.
ruh-roh. They done. Oh yeah, that's game changer right there. All right, let's live play-by-play this one here real quick. Oh, and Jess, yes, we love him too, so we appreciate him being a friend of ours.
Oh dear.
Did you see Jonathan Tiffany said he wants to bowl KCO either this year or next?
Yeah.
You and the wife need to come bowl. That would be
Boy,
awesome.
and I'm telling you what, we got cows for days out here, so Melissa ought to be like a.
Oh, that's right. She's the cow lover.
Yeah.
Outside of my in-laws' house, they have buffalo, so I actually see buffaloes every time I drive down there. So. Yeah, missing that count right there hurt.
Well, and that's why bowling sucks and why I don't really get too mad about it anymore, because he made a great shot on his first ball and it just hooked.
Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm turning to look to my laptop here, so I'm not trying to ignore you.
I'm a few seconds behind here, but.
Oh, okay. Then I think you're actually behind me for a change.
Yeah, he got the first one. Let me see if I make sure I'm live. Yeah,
it just says it just needs striking 7 to win. Just went off the screen. So
yeah, it just popped up for me.
I can wait.
Now it just went off the screen.
Okay, so you're a little behind me. Looks like is that a stealth mode hybrid or stealth? That's stealth mode.
Stealth mode. Yeah, so yeah, that's the I like that ball quite a bit. That's the one I was throwing city tournament on singles and doubles.
Oh yeah,
playing fourth arrow because Trevor.
Yeah, and then that was the worst pair ever for a right-hander.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you to see it.
Release looks pretty good. Oh
yeah, I just said I'll wait for you to see it. That was a great.
Bowling sucks.
That was a great pitch. That was a great
because
pitch.
They both got screwed there. I mean, and this is like watching. I guess we can talk about recaps too. It was like watching Wilkins the other night.
Oh, I was ready to lose my mind over that.
My God, I mean, it was one of those where you just throw the ball perfectly in the wrong spot. Mm-hmm. Like if he would have gotten any of those, a board further right, it would have been a mixer. A board further left, they would have been flush. But he just put them in exactly the wrong place to get a little bit behind it and flat corner a couple times, and that was it for him. He's now 1-2 on TV with like a 245 average because he shot 251, 2-3, something like that, 257 or 8 on the first show he was on, but Kyle shot 279 at him. And then 237 this time, never missed the pocket. He bowled the better game as far as I'm concerned, but he got 250 shot at him. So he's averaging 245 on TV, and his opponents are averaging something like 255.
Yeah, and he almost Edvalled everybody last night. EJ did. He tried because Edvall, like when he won the title the other night, I'll be honest with you, that dude just had the earth when it came to ball or pin carry. I mean, he got out of every single split.
Yeah, he just
it didn't matter how he hit the pocket. He got out of it.
Yeah, he stuck in there and he got the breaks. But that's another thing I want to talk about is everybody's talking about is, oh yeah, he had a horseshoe up his ass. Is like, yes, he did, but so did EJ. So has EJ this entire week. I mean, you want to talk about tripping stuff and breaking out of 4.6s and big splits. And now he has paid for several of them. He's paid full price for several of them. But my gosh, he's also gotten so many breaks too. He just hasn't gotten the game-changing breaks really.
In that one against Zach, he also got the 9 out late twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, stand up and fight.
Yep, he had messengers on several. It was 2 or 3 of them, and then I think he tripped a 4 or something too. So I think Zach bowled the better game, but he just didn't get the breaks on the.
And kudos to our dude. He almost made the show again last night.
Mm-hmm.
He got EJ'd again last night.
Yeah, and one of our dudes, I guess Packy, is up next in the next match here.
Yes, let's go Pac-Man. And we were earlier in the show. We were talking about we're on point with Packy here. As everybody was saying how they think, or it was Nico, I think. Nico said something about how if we asked if we would like him in the booth. He was a great interview when we had him on with Wilkins. He looked like he was a little uptight at first, like he didn't know what to expect with us. And I was kind of like, dude, just chill. We got this. We'll drive. You just sit there and answer questions. So, because if you look, you can go back and watch that show. He looked like he didn't know what he was getting himself into. And I even told him before, I was like, dude, we're just going to lay back and just have fun. So.
Yeah,
Pecky's a good guy, man. He really is.
But no, he was great. If you get a chance to go back, he He was on for the semifinal match, so he didn't call the championship, but he was on the semifinal. So if you want to check that out and listen to him, he was great the whole time. And I think there is a little. We're used to hearing Dave Ryan and Randy all the time, and they're not that great. And so I think some of it is anytime there's a breath of fresh air, whether they're good or not, it's kind of like, oh my God, that was so much better. But Packy really was so much better last night.
Yeah, a lot of people give Dave Ryan flack. He's not the greatest, but that's all you had back in the late '90s and early 2000s was Dave Ryan with his 60 Fate to Success. Yeah, and I've grown up listening to him a lot, so he doesn't bother me. Rob Stone, I didn't know what to think of him early. I like Rob Stone a lot.
Yeah, Rob Stone's probably my favorite, but
that Fanta guy can kick rocks. Though I'll tell you that right
now.
He lives in a van down by the river. Sorry, I just had to do it.
Yeah.
Again, that's twice on the show.
But no, people don't quite understand. Like Joe Buck gets given a hard time too, but they're there to kind of manage the show. They're not there to be an analyst. They're not there to be the color. They're there to be the one that gets in and out of commercial breaks, and you got somebody chirping in your ear all the time. I got a chance several years ago to call the NCAA. They had some kind of a collegiate championship at Westridge several years ago, and I got to be the analyst on it, and we were on a show that was on. It ended up being on ESPN 3 or something like that.
Wasn't it like Division 2 or 3? Excuse me.
I can't remember what it even was because it was so long ago. It was BC before COVID.
It wasn't NAIA, was it? Sorry, I just choked here.
It might have been SCAD when Verity was coaching. Their two teams, both the men's and women's team, won that. But it's very different because they had it back in one of the party rooms in the back. They had the whole frickin' setup with the boards and monitors everywhere, and the guys running the show back there. But when you're live on the show and you've got a headset on, and the producers are constantly telling you, okay, well, going to camera this, we're going to camera this, we're about to pop this advertisement up on the screen, we're going to pop this, we're going to put this stat up on the screen so that you know what's coming, so that you can then reference it and talk about it. But it's really hard when they're in your ear saying something every 15 seconds, and so trying to keep a thought process going. Every time they started, if I was in the middle of something, I heard the producers, I'd stop and I would listen, and the guy running the show would just like twirl his finger. It's like, come on, you gotta keep going.
Yeah, don't stop.
He was a soccer guy, and he knew nothing about bowling. But my gosh, I was so impressed with how he managed the show and ran things. And so I have a whole lot bigger respect for guys like Joe Buck and Dave Ryan.
Those guys just are professionals, man. It doesn't matter what sport they do; they just know how to do it.
I think it's definitely multitasking. I mean, it's almost like what I'd have to imagine working a drive-through window at a fast food place, because you're running people's transactions. Meanwhile, you're talking to the person at the drive-through, and then you're grabbing this bag and this Coke and handing this out there, and then talking to the person and getting their order and punching things in and whatever. Here's Patrick Hanrahan.
Patrick, of course, doing his whole when he gets on the approach. Hey, you guys need to talk. Let's have at some point in time. I love him. Just I know you like the crowd noise, like getting him interactive. Just bowl.
Oh my God, yeah. This
love you, buddy. But
the other thing that it drives me nuts, and I always said I wasn't going to be some kind of a white knight or something about the left side thing, but
here it comes.
The struggle's real. But no, Randy's like, well, he's got the left all to himself.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that wasn't great for the guy the other night. So so I don't know why those guys just don't burn a spot and try to move in off of it. It's like, well, they're professionals out there, and they made the TV show doing something right the entire week. So I would say that if that was a good idea, they'd probably be doing it. The problem with being by yourself is you just don't have the time or the help to really get anything going. So you really have to just kind of line up and make, you just get used to lining up and making shots. Their lane conditioning kind of goes a little bit out the window. But if there's a shot, it's amazing. Just like City Tournament, that was definitely an advantage lefty day. because the right side was just absolute dog shit.
Are you talking for singles and doubles?
Yeah, doubles and singles.
That might be the worst pair for the right side I've ever seen in my life for a pair that has four on the pair.
Yeah, 4 people, and there wasn't even. It was you and Yuri.
Yeah,
there wasn't even any rev rate on there, and it got off. Now our side transitioned quite a bit, but our side got pretty nice.
I was ready to go home after like the middle of frame 5, game 1.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then you have something like the World Series last year where it was just left. I mean, if you were left-handed, you were going to make the show probably.
Yeah.
It was just lefties versus lefties, and the right side just kind of got the crumbs. But then there's other times, like I think it was the Masters last year, where one lefty made the top 64, and so it's a feast or famine type of deal. But Randy always seems to. It's like the guy used to bowl professionally. He bowled against Mike Albee and Parker Bone and Jason Couch, and I just can't imagine that you bowl with those guys and don't ever pay attention to anything.
Real class, pal. Real class.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say to you for a guy
that's
Randy Peterson.
I see you up there. I see you. Good job, buddy. Thanks.
Or when he says, just
Great job.
stand real still like a statue.
Yeah, like a little statue.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, I see you. I see you. It's like, okay.
Real class, pal. I was like, are you done, bro?
Yeah.
I seen him up there. He was moving. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy in this giant arena up in the upper deck. I heard him all the way down here.
All right, so Smallwood goes spare?
Yeah. 2-8.
All right, Pac-Man. Let's go.
Back to the Jack Hall.
By the way, it's still snowing its butt off here at my house.
Yeah, I haven't looked outside for a little bit. It was getting pretty snowy.
Our weather is bipolar.
It was 80 degrees yesterday. It was very warm. We had the air conditioner on, and now we have the heater on.
And
it's cool outside. And I hope it doesn't, because Angel's at league right now, but if it was warm outside, and so the ground's still warm, but it's going to be cold enough to where I don't know if wrap that 7.
And you're way behind. That's the spare ball I just realized. Yeah. On it, by the way, the one Packy's got in his hand.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
Hey, it's something different. It's going to be hard to keep clean.
The white dot.
What?
We will be having white.
Oh my gosh, you missed it.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I meant to be quiet. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, yeah, that looked like me at Southwest this weekend. No, I missed the first 2 that I shot at, and then there was one that the other one that I missed is the one that my fingernail broke the rest of the way on.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I missed the first 2 because I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I got figured out, and I made the next like 5 or 6 of them. Then I missed one, then made the next 2 or 3.
Dan Hill just tuned in listening while driving. What round are they in? They're in the semifinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're in the semis.
Yeah, because Packy is the 2 seed.
They're starting the 4th frame now.
7.
Yeah. All right. I won't say anything. Shout out to Dude Wipes. Good for the cheeks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pow.
Bang.
Then in that black, it's really funny too that I think the black hammer has ended up being more popular than the purple hammer, because when it was always like, well, if you can use the purple hammer, you're going to be using the purple, and the black is just for use on the PBA. But I think as more guys have used and gotten used to the black, it's kind of like, well, they're like at least even. I'm going to get them out and take a look at both of them, and I think that the black does everything the purple does, except it's just not as fast on the back end, and that's actually makes it work out. I like the black more than the purple.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, no problem, man. The perp is still the daddy, though. Like, I think they complement each other really well, though. I think if you're on a short pattern, you could easily bring both of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to take mine. I'm going to take 2 blacks and 2. Well, I'm going to take maybe not 2. Well, yeah, I'll probably take 2 blacks. So I'll have one for. Well, I guess I don't need one for a spare ball anymore. But I'll probably take 2 blacks, 2 purples. I got that magenta staring at me, so I may take a magenta and a purple, and then 2 blacks.
To what, nationals?
Yeah.
Take a vaporize.
Yeah, and I'm going to
take a vaporize.
Take my pink widow. Yeah, I might have to drill another. I don't know what happened to my vaporize. But.
Well, I'll drill another one because I won't spoil, but I'm just gonna. I'll wait till they come on and they can talk about how far in depth they want to go. I don't care. I'm not leading doubles, so I'll tell you what I did. But I I'll just suggest. Oh, it's already been leaked on there. So on the videos that they showed, the USBC showed of Trevor, he was throwing the Vaporize and Dylan was throwing the Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing is it's Dylan, for example, if you go back and watch, it looks like he's just kind of doing the typical Dylan, but he was actually really soft with it. Like you cannot just get left and just rip the shit out of it and watch it go sideways. He was actually softer, kind of giving it this than I'm used to seeing. So I've seen some people comment on there like, oh, I see him doing this, and then some of the people it's like, yeah, can you get that soft though and still rip the shit out of it at the bottom? Dylan threw it really good, man. Like I'm telling you, it's I mean, I watched him put 9 solid games together. That guy's just an animal, man.
Pink Widow urethane.
Yeah, the urethane.
It's the Pink Widow urethane, and I'm not sure. I'm going to make sure that I get my Evoke back in. I've got an Evoke and a Venom Shock that were when my hand always shrinks up like crazy during the winter, and so I drilled those over the summer, and so they don't really fit, and so I need to get those back in kind of fighting shape, or just let them come back into their own here as it warms up. And
wide.
Okay, well, that's okay. That hurts quite a bit as far as the count's concerned, but yeah, he just kind of.
Pecky's dad's got the hat on too.
Yeah,
that's awful. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of those hats.
His dad looks like James Cromwell.
Yes, he does. I'm going to be one of those guys when I get older, though. I'm going to wear one, and just out of spite, I'm just going to wear it. I need a big old pipe, like one of those old man's pipes. With the little curls and puffing the I'm gonna be one of those guys.
I just really want his dad to one time to just tell me that'll do, pig.
And then I'll sit with one of those hats on and like with my feet up, and I'll look at Raylan. Raylan, can you get me a beer?
Man, I don't know if you haven't seen. Have you seen Peaky Blinders?
No, I'm actually not. So I'm not a big TV show guy.
Oh my God, that one's it's one of those, and I'm not really either, but it's one that was done by the BBC, and so it's a little different story.
I've heard it's great.
It's an old it's just ridiculously amazing. It's one of those things that you get into, and it's kind of like, well, I'm not that interested, or like Stranger Things. It's like I don't like the 70s sci-fi whatever it is, and then of course I got hooked into that, and then Peaky Blinders is just ridiculous. And Cillian, I thought it was one of those things like, well, Cillian Murphy's in it, and he's so good that it's almost kind of a letdown when the cast, the rest of the cast has to be just as good as he is. Otherwise, it kind of feels like the Cillian Murphy show. But everybody else is. Tom Hardy's in it in season 2 and on, and it's the best character that
I love. Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy plays this great character that just steals the show every time he's on there, and the entire cast is just as good as Cillian, and it's just ridiculous. But the reason I say that is because they all wear those hats, and they're called the Peaky Blinders because they sewed, and it's based on a true story. There really were the Peaky Blinders back in the early 1900s or whatever, but they would sew razor blades into the brim of that hat, and then they would take the hat off and they would blind people with the razor blades.
Oh my. That's intense.
So yeah, they would take their hat off and then they would like smack people with.
I'm not gonna lie to you; those guys are gangsters.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's a 1900s, Irish gangster show.
Okay, all right, okay. Another one that I've heard that I need to watch, and I've actually been tempted to go back and watch it. I know they don't make it anymore. Was I've heard it from Woody. Woody's told me this before. I know he's talked like a lot about it, but it's Ozark. I've heard Ozark is really good.
Yeah, I've heard Ozark's really good. I didn't ever watch Breaking Bad, and so I
haven't either.
I'm a few episodes into season 4. I think season 4 is the last one, but
I watch sports. That's what I watch.
Yeah,
if sports aren't on, like on a weekend. If there's nothing like without football season now and baseball hasn't started yet.
Yeah, it's
there's really nothing on. I look at Amanda. If I don't have a video game I feel like playing, I look at her, I'm like, I'm bored. Can we do something? Like, I miss Sundays because I hate football, but I love it. Melissa's grandpa used to smoke pipe tobacco. Yeah, it smells so good, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just sit there and puff it for the smell. My buddy just threw his 100-300 game tonight. Cillian Murphy as John Crane. Okay, this guy. Sweet. Okay. All right. Congrats. Wanted to make sure I read that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's awesome. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hey, guys. Super late getting in. Yeah. What's up, TJ? We're just hanging out, watching a little bit of PBA bowling live on Fox Sports 1. We're kind of just BSing. We talked a little bit of nationals. Talked a little Springfield. Not really much about Springfield because none of us has bowled it yet. I go down this weekend. I can report back for anybody that's going to the Ozarks if you'd like to know how awful they are and how awful I am. Sorry. Luke bowled Southwest this weekend. We recapped that a little bit. He bowled pretty good, it sounds like. Him and his doubles partner, Tobias, who's my teammate on Thursday nights in the draft league in Lawrence, Kansas. Sounds like he whipped some butt. So awesome. We've had a nice little packed show. Actually, it's kind of nice to sit here and chat about bowling for a little bit and not go down a rabbit trail and talk about sports betting.
Yeah.
I honestly, so to not go down this rabbit trail, even though it's going to happen, Springfield this weekend, Johnny and I have a B&B. And usually we go to like Top Golf or something. We're going to go to Springfield Brewery that you have been to with me. The place is amazeballs. I highly recommend it for anybody who goes to the Ozarks. Springfield Brewing Company. Great food, great beer. Johnny and I are going to go there for dinner, even by ourselves. And then we're going straight back to the B&B, and we're watching some basketball. So did you get any brackets done? Anybody get any brackets done? Who's your winner? Shoot them in here. I've already done all mine. I'm bracket out. So.
Well, they did update standings for Southwest, so our team 3496 is good for 23rd right now, and then
Okay.
the second team with Spencer and those guys is in 9th.
Okay, that's cool. We found a candle that smells like pipe tobacco, but we lost it when we moved. But Hobby Lobby makes a candle that smells a little like ironically called Grandpa's Chair. That's pretty sweet. Sorry, what else? Give me some more numbers.
We are 4th in scratch team. Shut the
hell yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's cool.
You know, I kind of want to drill a black venom, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just watched some smalls there out here.
Open doubles.
Oof.
1493 is in 27th.
By the way, is my audio okay? I literally sat down here an hour before the show, and I sat here and tinkered with this thing.
Shut the hell up, Bingo.
Just trying, because I'm using my transmitters again, so I can actually move freely. Like I'm literally, so you can see, Luke, I'm plugged into this. This is where my microphone's plugged into. I can move around, move my hands.
I am tied for 383rd with 693, but there are over 2,000 people that have bowled, so definitely in the top quarter there.
Great question. What did y'all think of that epic roll-off with Tackett and Fiore? That was must-see TV. I mean, I was sitting on the edge of my seat wondering who was going to fold first, and honestly, the one that I thought would fold first did. But that was so awesome because I even sent Luke a message while he was in Wichita. And I was like, dude, did you catch any of the show while you're bowling? He's like, yeah, that was epic. So,
Talk about Buck.
Packy, come on.
6-game.
So while you're looking that up, Luke, what was the reaction in the building there in Wichita for the roll-off? How much were you guys talking about it?
What's that?
I said, how much were you guys talking about in Wichita when you were live and in person bowling? You guys, like Keeler and all you guys had to be like, oh my God, this is epic for that roll-off of Fiore and Tackett.
We actually, that didn't air that wasn't on until Monday, Tuesday. Well, no, that was
that was over the weekend. That was Saturday's show.
Yeah, that was Saturday. Yeah, okay, yeah, we were watching that. We were all kind of distracted from bowling. It's like I wanted to make sure that I got back and was watching. That was a really great show across the board. Even without that roll off, that was one of the better shows I've seen in a long time.
Ethan Fiore's two-handed game is freaking gorgeous. He's so clean at the line. Like that's if I wanted to be a two-hander, that's the type of game I want to have. Like just from start to finish is amazing. Randy just said, "Oh, the urethane 7." Drink up, Luke.
Yeah. How's that flat urethane 7? Thanks, Randy.
Luke needs to pop up another bottle of champagne first.
Yeah.
This Jim Beam and Sprite. Yeah, it's Jim Beam tonight, not Jack. I said Jack earlier. This is going down pretty tasty. I might have a whiskey when I get up. I need to make a gas station run when I get done, though. I got to run. Forgot to grab something on the way home.
Oh, woof.
I was out of my seat. Yeah, TJ, it was that was good stuff, man. That was must see TV. That's PBA won't be able to top that one for a while. All right, what else? What do we got standing wise? Talk to me.
Smallwood's kind of starting to run it. If he strikes here, which I know you've seen it, I haven't. If he strikes here, it's pretty. Yeah, this one's over. Too bad for the Pac-Man. That's.
Hey, guess what? We get again tonight. Another Motive final.
Yeah.
So the one thing that people need to understand too is well, I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook and stuff about Motive's all. No wonder they're leading the points. It's just EJ or this and that. The only time they accumulate points is off the 5 that they pick for that tournament.
Yeah, they lost a lot. They lost a lot of points for the guys that are on TV. They're the ones that they didn't pick. So
yeah, they gained no points on those at all.
All right, this gives them a chance. 192 teen. So if Packy strikes out, he forces Smallwood to mark.
Which on Shark, that's a good thing. All right. I will be quiet here. I won't shot by shot.
Well, and you got to remember again that it might just be this might not be a great pair because it looked bad for who was it? Rafiq the other night. He shot 170, and then Jesper shot 190 the first game. So the left side on this pair just may not be very good because this is, the third lefty that's made these shows, and he's the first one that might shoot 200 here.
Right. So Packy just balked. I don't know if you saw it, but he's the first guy that wants to get people loud, and then as soon as he hears a noise, he stops.
Yeah.
Ooh. That was a little high flush.
Mm-hmm.
Those shoes that Packy's wearing there, those are gorgeous. I want a pair of those. I need some new shoes.
I haven't no. Oh, yep.
Those are nice. I'm telling you right now, once you get the BOA system shoes, for those that don't have it, once you get them there, you'll never go back. Mm-hmm. I know we got a few in here like Jonathan Tiffany. You're a Hallmark guy, so I know I don't think you guys have those, but I'm telling you,
man,
if you ever get them, like if Hallmark ever gets that system, you'll never want to tie your shoes again.
BOA is the way to go.
Yes. All right, Pac-Man. Come on, at least force him to do something here. And I like smalls too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
Looks okay. It's got a carry. No. Yeah, it's just that flat.
I was waiting to say it. You said it before me, dang it. Damn you. Damn Daniel.
He
Dang it.
Yep.
All right, so that's the end of Packy Shark Championship. Smallwood's going to bowl for the title against EJ Tackett.
We will have a American winner tonight.
We will have an American winner. Yes, we
won't let the damn foreigners have them all.
They can't have all the fun.
Yeah. They still had an outside chance with. We're all used to Jesper by now, but
yeah. I mean, he's Americanized enough at this point, right?
Yeah. He's been here long enough that.
Yeah. I'd like to see Smallwood spare this up and look at something.
Yeah.
I think he's looking at Spengler about it now.
Mm-hmm.
That Black Venom.
If he's got to move in, he's going to run out of room with the Black Venom, so he might go to. I would think like the Evoke
Hysteria. Yeah. I mean, God, that's only. You know how many balls are going to sell of that Hysteria after this week?
That's what I would think that. I think that EJ's going to be throwing it too because it's just right in that. It's kind of heavier rolling, so it controls the lane really well, and it's.
Oh, he went to the Onyx on a fill.
It's clean, but it's still controllable down lane. So it's just really, Oh, he's going back out with the.
Yeah, he went back to the Onyx to look at it.
And then he threw a terrible shot. So yeah, he was wanting to look at something, and I don't think he got the look he was wanting to get because it was just such a bad shot.
That is the story of my life, by the way, folks. Is when I go to look at a ball in a fill, I always throw the worst shot I've thrown.
Yeah.
It happens every time. Yeah, Victoria said that'll be a nice check for Pac-Man. Actually, Packy really needed that finish because his season's not been very good. So anytime you can finish in the top 4 or 5 in a show, that or just in a tournament, your season point standings go like Wilkins going into we always use him as a reference because he's a friend of the show, friend of ours. His season turned around off this World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going to be exempt now just because of this World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost made 2 shows. He's in the World Championship cut, so he'll be bowling again tomorrow. Zach will be. He'll probably he's probably in the 30s now, 2030s. He's going to make. He'll make the exempt tour now. So it's crazy though. So we still have a couple majors left.
Yeah.
Right. Like we got the Masters next week. Still have a World Championship to finish, and we have one more. We got the Players.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like them finishing the season with the player or with like 3 majors like that though. I'm not a fan of it. Oh, and I was told I'd mention this. I was told I'd mention this. The PWBA tour is coming to Topeka in the first tour of the spot of the season. So you guys want to, if you're close to the Topeka area or the Midwest area and want to see the women live in action, and come see them.
$60 to go watch.
Yes, it is. And is that a PWBA price or is that a center price?
I think that's a center price.
You think so? Really?
I would be surprised if it was a PWBA.
Tournament champions, yes. Sorry.
I can't remember if it did cost last time because I was pro shop, so I got a.
Well, like the PBA, it costs to go watch. So yeah, I'm sure there is a cost.
Yeah.
There's a.
Well, I remember it was $50 for the all week for the U.S. Open in Wichita in 2017 or 18 or when the crap was there. It was $50 for the not including the TV show. It didn't get you into the TV show, but it got you the entire week's worth of. Yeah,
you got match play and all that stuff. I actually had thought about putting Raylan in to bowl the Pro-Am.
Yeah.
But even for the youth bowler, that doesn't get scholarship money. It's $60 to bowl it for 3 games at 9-pin, no tap. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna.
We're not.
I don't think we're gonna make the one in Topeka. I think we're gonna go up to Lincoln, and so whenever it's in.
Have you been to that center yet in Lincoln, Sun Valley? Oh, Sun Valley is amazing. We did I did a motive ball demo up there, where I kind of did a tour of Nebraska there. It felt like for a few days for doing ball demos, but that's Sun Valley Lanes. So they're an AMF. Is it AMF? No, it's Cubica. It's Cubica.
Yeah.
They're a test center, so they get all the new stuff as a test center. So anything new that Cubica comes out and tests, Sun Valley gets it.
Well, and that's great too because it's June 10th through the 17th, so we'll be back from Springfield. But it's the women's, it's the U.S. Open that's in Lincoln.
Yeah, it's the U.S. Open, and this is the second U.S. Open that Sun Valley has hosted for the women, and they've also recently hosted one for the men.
Well, and they've also got one here too. A few days earlier than that, they're going to be in Waterloo, Iowa, and that's not too far away. Really, I mean, none of these are. Cleveland's a drive. That's a drive. Green Bay is a drive. The Lucy's in Houston, and then the Tour Championship week is in New York. This is just some of the. It was about like the PBA starting in Connecticut or wherever the crap they started in.
Was it like Rhode Island?
Yeah. So they've got the turn. They're starting with the tournament in Topeka, and then the next one is the Queens in Las Vegas, and then so they start in Topeka, then they go to Vegas, and then they go to Cleveland. For the summer series, then they're back to Iowa, then
for the summer series, it basically ends their season.
And New York.
I'm sorry, they bowl like 6 tournaments. That tour is a joke.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the women because it really is a joke. There's almost no, and then their new membership. The lack of their membership is just a freaking joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a Friday and Saturday in Topeka to watch PWBA. What is it? What is there to do in Topeka? Well, I obviously find entertainment here. You want to know what there's to do in Topeka? Drink.
I am missing the pressing questions, and I do like the fact that Kimberly is not just the eye candy that they found. She does a great job. I love the pressing questions section. Tom Doherty is a real one, by the way. Every time they put that guy on a microphone, he's a riot.
Oh, you never know what's coming out of his mouth.
Oh my God, I'm not sure he knows what's going to come out of his mouth. He just starts talking, and he just
Speaking of that,
to tell the truth,
we have no sound on. So, what is the pressing question here? Somebody tell me.
Yeah.
What is it?
It was really good last night.
The dating bowlers. No, what was the one? There was
the dating bowlers. The Cam Crow was like, "Yeah, no,
I tried that once. We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
she probably knows who I'm talking about, but he didn't.
Last night was who's the most intimidating bowler on tour for either bowling against them or like intensity or whatever else.
Oh yeah. And then the other night was the one where who was it? Was it Kyle Troop that said something? No, it was Andrew Anderson that said something about him and Ryan Barnes play a nerd game.
Yeah.
I had to Google it because I had no freaking clue what it was.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, and I was going to look it up, but I forgot, and I can't even remember what he said.
Amanda and I looked it up. It's a like a war strategy game.
Okay, and then and Andrew's like, yeah, and he won't be happy with me for saying that on TV.
Pressing questions, yeah, help me out. Somebody tell me what the pressing question was if you're actually listening. Kudos to you if you have the sound off and you're listening to us.
Old boy Deshaun Maldonado just used chapstick, and they're getting a crack at Randy and Dave are getting a chuckle out of it.
Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, let me go back to. Sorry, I'm kind of live talking here. Are they? They're getting ready to go to a commercial break again, aren't they?
There's that Dollar General trophy. Can they get them some decent trophies? I mean, because that's one of those dog shit trophies that when EJ's kid knocks it off the mantle and it falls down and hits something, then
it won't even break.
The cheap gold plate, the cheap gold paint's going to start chipping off, and it's going to be the gray plastic underneath. And
the most expensive part of the plate is the trophy is the base. What's the nicest compliment you've ever gotten, or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, Topeka's honor score award trophies are nicer than what they're handing out for the World Series.
These?
Yeah. Those are freaking sweet.
Yeah, I can pull it out.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice.
They're heavy too. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they add plates to them. So every time you get one
for the date,
Yeah, with the dates. They owe me another one of those. I forgot about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a smudge on it. But yeah, that's a legit trophy. Like I'd win that in a tournament and be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That'll cut into the commissioner's salary. Yeah, I know, right? But they need to get him some trophies. I mean, it's these things are a joke. They really are a damn joke. You look like you're drinking a damn bottle of champagne.
Mm-hmm.
That's bust out the champagne, Randy.
Uh-huh.
I get to come over and see you tomorrow. You get to see my face twice. About as tall as Hawes is. Honestly, pretty damn close. I tell you what, the base on those things are heavy. I'm telling you, like they are. Yeah. These things are legit. Like honestly, if you're gonna do like the top 10, you know how they hand out all those stupid medals, but they have like 75 divisions. They have like, I don't mean any disrespect to older folks that watch this show, but they have it should be youth male, youth female, adult male, adult female, senior. Yeah. But it's not. It's those I just mentioned, senior, super senior, and super senior. Yeah. They keep on going. You get to the point where it's oversaturated. I get why, because you include the others, right? You do. And but this, I mean, if you gave something like this away for the top 10, like that's legit. And that, I mean, I'm pissed if I fix that. Holy crap. There we go. I think that's presentable enough. Yeah, That's legit. Like I don't know. And then of course I've got another random pin up here. It's just a pin I got out of the rack at Aaron's for shooting a 300. I just found it down there, so I put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
But about as tall as you guys are mean to me. I tell you what, if you guys wouldn't leave me alone my height, I'm short. I get it. Okay, emotionally scarred.
Yeah, I over the weekend at Southwest, I chuckled for you the first time I used the urinal.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's insane there.
Well, and there was a guy on our first team set that was bowling next to us, and they all had jerseys with their nicknames on the back, and it was this older guy. He was 55 or 60, and it was Mouse, but he was like 5 foot even. He was like 5 feet tall.
No shit. Like he's shorter than me.
That's the funniest thing. It's like, well, yep, he's using the toilet bowl.
You thought about me while you were in the bathroom? Thank you.
Just yeah.
Jonathan E. Hawes. Wow, I was beginning to think your middle name was something with Vivian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not Vivian. It's my middle name is actually Edward. And when I'm in trouble, my wife calls me by my first and middle name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I know I'm in trouble. Just so you know.
Yeah, I don't.
And now don't try and scam me out of all my money because you know my first, middle, and last name.
I don't.
Everybody out there knows.
I don't think Angel's ever used my middle name, but I have to chuckle every single time I say her name too, because she's got some wild stories. Her dad dated a stripper once, and so I always tell her that her dad named her after his favorite stripper.
Oh my God. This show has gone off the rails. Ladies and gentlemen, we are off the air. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness, I think I just splashed my glass.
All right.
Oh, yeah, it is Evo's Hysteria. Here we go.
Nobody complained when Randy threw urethane. All right.
That's good.
Yep. Evo Hysteria. We'll see what happens.
And I saw it, but I'll let you.
Randy starting the match. Yeah. And see, that's the crazy thing is that ball has been in play on the TV show every single night since Saturday.
I know, dude.
Because Rasmus ran the step ladder with it. Ethan was using it. EJ was using it. And I think last night EJ was, or the last 2 nights, I think EJ's been throwing the shock, but another motive staffer has been using the Hysteria.
I think it just fits that building really well.
Yeah, it's just.
He's still in the black zone.
Yeah. And that's one of those things that, yeah, if a ball matches up with a lane surface, I mean, there's all kinds of times that we'll go to all pack, not even really caring about what the pattern is. You know, if we're going to Aaron's, I pack certain balls. If we're going to Summit, I pack certain balls.
Yeah.
If we're going to Olathe, I pack certain balls. And most of the time, regardless of the pattern, they usually end up being in play. Or even if the pattern is the same between Olathe and Summit, I'm still packing different stuff.
Hey, Mike Wilbur's in the crowd. If I go to Tulsa, I pack a Jackal Ghost.
Yep.
That's the number one goal. The goal. Good Lord, I cannot talk. That is the number one ball that goes to Tulsa every year. But speaking of that, by the way, we're going to Tulsa twice this year, by the way. I don't know if you're going to go twice or not.
I talked to Angel about it. I'm not going to go the second time because it's in December, and then we always spend a ridiculous amount of money when the kids are here in January. So
yeah, we're going in October and then the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna go like early in October and then the weekend before Thanksgiving, which is also when the Keelers go.
Yeah,
we're trying to put together 2 teams that we can kind of bounce around each other, or 4 teams that we can kind of split around because you have to have the 2 different people combo. So that's all good if you can't make them both, no problem.
Yeah, I need to start. I think that some of the thing is that normally I go to tournaments and I just kind of go to tournaments and bowl them and come home. And if I start making money at tournaments, if I can get back to the place where I start putting some money in brackets and can actually make some money at the tournaments, and I can go to more tournaments. But right now it's just kind of like a tax write-off.
Yeah,
type of deal. Like I'm going to go and spend several $100s to bowl this tournament and whatever else, and it's just going to be an expenditure.
Sorry, I had to do the Tackett.
Ooh, yeah.
Wilkins. I think Wilkins is going to bowl. Yeah, that's right. Wilkins is going to bowl I think he's going to bowl everything with us. He was on my second team, I believe. No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I only bowled one team squad last year. He was on the one team I bowled.
Yeah. Pro Shop Operator and my Friday League has the new Evoke. It's a good bowl. Yeah. It's great. I've been using the special effect and the hammerhead quite a bit recently, but the Hysteria is like right there. I've got a pretty solid bag right now. The special effect and the hammerhead, Evoke Hysteria, the stealth mode, and the swag judge with the Jackalonics is like right there too, because it and the judge work really well together.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I go out of town, that's like my bag.
I think I'm missing something, another really good clean piece in my bag. I was talking to Dylan about that while we're going. I need to drill. Sorry, I'm plugging my laptop back in here. I need to drill something else other than like the theorem. Something just gives another clean option. I was thinking maybe like an Attention Star S2 or something like that. I haven't decided yet.
I think the original Attention Star is a little too close to the Mania, but the S2 would be a good one because it's right kind of that in between where it's the same cover, so it's a cleaner cover, but it comes sanded, and so it's going to slow it down a little bit, and so that's kind of right there in the right
kind
there.
Of what I was thinking. I've been trying to figure out what it is that I want to put holes in.
Mm-hmm.
But he's right though. I don't throw a ton of shiny stuff anymore. If I do, I pretty much just get into the theorem or I need something else.
Got a little up the lane with that one, a little firm. 10. This is a good match so far.
EJ's ball reaction looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean that ball is just dumb good.
He didn't change jerseys from the round of 8. Neither did Smalls.
Yeah,
I'd have changed clothes.
Yeah. I'd have had to go back to especially bowling that long of a block and whatever else. I mean, I even went back. We had so long between the team sets. I went back to the hotel room on Saturday and changed shirts and kind of freshened up a little bit.
You guys actually had the new Jade Piranha
look at another break for EJ. Like, EJ hasn't gotten any breaks all week.
I do need something clean. That's all I know. Whatever it may be, I need a new clean option.
Hysteria.
How long do you guys have between squads? Usually we only get like an hour.
Yeah, the first squad was 1:30, and the second squad, or our first team set was 1:30, and the second one was 6 o'clock. We were done at 4:30.
How'd you guys get done so fast?
I have no idea, but I was.
Oh, sorry.
It's like, man, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, because usually I always change jerseys in between.
There's another break.
So when we get done,
so I
would always go in the parking lot and change.
Yeah, I just went back to the hotel room and I almost took a shower, but I'm like, if I do that, then my hands are going to get stupid, and so
yeah, I
just went back and changed shirts and refilled got some more what is it, the body armor IV or whatever, the flash flash IV or whatever, refilled my water and cleaned up and changed shirts and changed socks and went back and still had plenty of time.
Yeah.
Well, EJ, I think, is finally going to win himself a tournament because Tommy just can't get the ball through the pins the right way.
I didn't have to worry about buying a $55 tower this year.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 2 pitchers for $55.
I
did buy a $55 bucket at Nationals, but that's a different story.
Like I said, I only got 2 beers. I had one first team set and one the second team set, and I had big.
You didn't have a White Russian?
I was thinking about it on Sunday morning, but I didn't get any sleep Saturday night because it was just so cold and dry that it just.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I couldn't breathe and my head was pounding and every single breath was it's like brain freeze, every single breath. And so it was just freaking awful. And so I didn't really feel like drinking on Sunday morning anyway, but It looks like he switched to a different black venom because that ball had a little bit of surface on it. The other one he's been throwing shiny, that one had some surface on it.
Yeah, that one may be different.
But yeah, well, I had a drink the first team set. I had a big Yingling a couple times. Yeah. It was $7.50 for a big Yingling.
That's not terrible. A tall one, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. And I drank on that for game and a half, 2 games. A little bit of loft. Shimmed it in there. He did move left a little bit on that lane. So I think that's probably, and that's one of those things that people see, okay, well, the last couple balls came in late. Why did he move left? So that he can hit it a little bit more, so he can control his shape a little bit better. Most people would think, oh, the ball's going behind the head pin, you need to move right. Well, moving right into the wishy-washy on the outside, especially on something like the Shark, that's longer, heavier volume, by moving in, he can ram on it a little bit harder, control his down lane shape. If he wants to hit it harder to get it to finish, he's got to move further left so that he can, man, he might shoot 300.
I think this Evoke Hysteria might be a big seller for them. Like, this might be one of those balls that you'll see Motive hold around in the line for a while. They kick a lot of stuff out.
It's in that astrophysics, Halo Pearl attention power territory that's just the strong enough to be in play, but clean enough to be in play type of things, where it's strong enough on heavier volumes and clean enough for lower volumes, and it looks good on house shots and tough stuff and whatever else. So yeah, it's just right in that perfect spot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's one of those. Motive is really good though about if they know stuff is selling and it's good, they hold on to it. Obviously it's easier to do that when you only have one brand, but I think this one's gonna stick for a little. That ball looks damn good.
Yeah.
I wanted to drill that sniper right there, but it was $199.
Yeah, boy, I wouldn't be sad if they decided to send me one of those, but I'm actually using reactive balls now for 7 pins.
You animal, you.
But yeah, look out. Feel bad for Tommy here. Now he was in the first match, so he gets second place money, which is several $1,000s more than he would have made. So good night for Tommy. He's unfortunately not gonna win the tournament here unless something great. I mean, EJ would have to go 4-4-4.
So that was a little left too.
Basically, so really the only thing that we're watching, that was just up the lane the whole way, but held on there. So yeah, all we're really looking for here now is EJ going to finish the 300 out? And he's getting the hits, and it seems like he's got some room. He's pretty comfortable. He made that move the last couple shots, and so I think he's in the right place now. I think he's comfortable with where he's at now. We just got to see if he can finish it off here.
Give it the reaction.
Yeah, he kind of
shouldered it.
Yeah, he kind of grabbed it, and it just kind of killed it off his hand. It was just kind of spinning.
Spinner. Yeah, that spare ball. So, I mean, I wanted one. I am not spending $200 on a spare ball.
Yeah.
I'll spend the $60, $70.
Yeah, you can see it just kind of bogged down.
Yeah, I think just hydroplane and Atlantic.
I got a drink. Damn it, EJ.
I'm out of drink. I need to go get another. We're almost done anyway, so.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some basketball tomorrow. Like my least productive day at work. I hope my boss doesn't listen to this.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, because the tournament proper starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Missouri actually plays tomorrow. We play at 5:30, but we're at that's why another reason why I want to get to bowling early. So I told you, it's like, I'm coming over early. I'm drilling it. I'm going home. I'm changing. I'm going to the bowling center. I love watching Missouri basketball in Lawrence. I tell you.
Well, EJ needs to spare this. If he doesn't, Small still has a chance, but I would assume that he's going to spare it.
By the way, we're in blue on blue.
What a relief. EJ is going to, he needs one pin He's been on TV all this many times, and some people might say, like,
Yeah.
1 win out of 5 times on TV. But man, you want to talk about the amount of money that this man made this week?
Oh God, he's made all kinds.
He made more this week than I'm going to make this year. So.
Oh yeah, that. Shoot. I'll let you see that, and I'll tell you what the result is after that.
Oh, we got it. Why? Oh.
Yeah, we got a wiener. Tackett's going to win finally at the World Series of Bowling.
Yep.
He still has a chance to win the World Championship, so I wouldn't shock me if he wins the World Championship. That guy has got to be freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
He's probably like, damn it, do we really have to bowl the Masters next week?
And I can't even imagine being able to pay attention because he's bowling qualifying. He's bowling match play or whatever the crap, or the bracket. Whatever. He bowled the round of 16 and the round of 8 today. And then bowling every single night. I mean, basically he is trying to fit in eating in between all of the bowling. He wakes up and he bowls, and then he goes to sleep, and then he wakes up and he bowls, and then he goes to sleep, and there's just...
Yeah. He said he went to Gordon Ramsay's last night and ate and had a nice steak after the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tommy just couldn't get the ball through the pins.
Because Natalie's not there. She left finally. I seen her post a tweet on X that said something like, "I'm sorry if you guys are tired of seeing my face."
Yeah.
I get to bowl Luke's team tomorrow night. Should be fun. There he is, Paul Burnett, with a little bit. So you mean a little bit. That's not really smack talk, so I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, I got to make sure that my I got to I got to fix the judge up. I need to get, it's got a little shiny, so I need to give it a little surface TLC and then change out all the tape in the thumb. So I need to get my judge ready for the swag off tomorrow night.
Oh, all right. EJ's a wiener.
Really, they really can call me Ginger Swag now.
That's right. Max. I love him, but damn, I want to see someone else win. Am I wrong? I can see it. But, I mean, technically, he hasn't won in the World Series yet. I mean, this dude had 15 titles 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
15 5 years ago. It's insane. And also, people felt the same way about Belmo, too. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
If this kid keeps up the same pace, it's just going to be unreal to see where he finishes at. He can keep this longevity longer than some of these two-handers.
Well, and see,
like
that's
Robarge, for example. Robarge is not going to be able to do that very long.
Yeah. No. And EJ's got the kind of, he smacks it a little harder than, oh gosh, I just lost his name. Can see his face.
One-hander, two-hander.
One-hander. Oh gosh, Amleto.
Yeah.
He's got kind of the same, the high backswing. Of course, if he keeps it, Amleto's in ridiculous shape. But it's just getting better. And, I think Belmo's kind of, he's still a factor, but he's not as dominant as he was. And we haven't really seen Simo at all this year. It just seems like it's EJ's every single tournament is EJ's to lose.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like right now. And he's still pretty young. Is he 30? If he's 30, he's not 30 by much.
Yeah, he's in his 30s. He's
32. His birthday is on August 7th.
Yeah, that dude's got a lot of bowling longevity left in him.
Yeah, so I mean, he'll start slowing down here a little bit. But I mean, he's putting a lot of miles on, but it's only, I mean, again, the PBA
seasons are shorter,
only from like February to June or July. So
yeah, he's got plenty of
putting
time.
a lot of mileage on in a few months, but I don't know. And he's pretty small, so he's not going to have, I wouldn't think, and he hasn't really ever been injured. So yeah, I don't think he's not going to have any health issues from weight or anything.
I mean, look at Simo. Look how bad an injury set him back. Nobody's heard of him this year. He's done this year. Like his season's toast. Just is what it is. You got a couple of swag questions in here real quick, Luke. I know we're getting closer to the end of our program here.
Yeah.
And by the way, to finish off the Player of the Year talk, Andrew Anderson's close, but it's not that close. EJ's now got, 3 titles with a major? It's not close.
Just said in Discord, EJ's more dominant right now than Belmo was at the top of his game. Yeah, I think
I can see it.
EJ's, I mean, he's made every show. He won all kinds of times last year, and even though he's only just won this one at the World Series, he's been on every single show.
Yeah, but he won. Wasn't the World Series, but he won on Saturday too in the Albee Classic. So.
I think Andrew Anderson is really kind of starting to come into his own too.
Yep.
But it's still really the EJ Tackett show right now.
Yeah, it's. But I mean, unless somebody comes out and wins the next 2 majors, it's signed, sealed, delivered, in my opinion. Mr. Stabby, Luke, how fast do those new swag balls lane shine?
Not terribly fast. They don't. Okay. They're not as fast as. They're probably about on par with most of the Brunswick stuff. I think the Motive stuff shines a little slower. Storm stuff shines a little faster. Okay. I think it's kind of right in the middle. Oh, Kimberly's hair's different.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
That's what the deal is.
I did not see it.
It just it looks weird because it's down and it almost looks darker than it normally is.
It's straight.
So it just looks a little different.
Next question from Victorious, real quick. What's your number 2 swag ball right now?
Probably the Crazed Pearl. I use the Judge a lot, and the Fusion. I would still be using that, but I haven't been throwing a lot of weaker stuff here recently. It's all been a lot of strong stuff, and so it's just a little bit too weak. Plus, I drilled it early enough to where I'm swimming in the fingers a little bit right now. So.
Yeah, if Andrew wins a major and another minor, I think he could squeak in there. Yeah, but I don't think it's close. I mean, EJ just made literally every show in the World Series of Bowling.
Yeah.
It's not close.
Yeah. Andrew would have to win. EJ would have to miss everything the rest of the year, and Anderson would have to win like 3 more times.
Yeah, you got to remember, just because of the wins, but like I said, he just literally top 5'd the whole World Series of Bowling. I mean, he's running away with points. It's not even close. So... all right. We are 1 minute till complete time here. We finished the last show of the World Series of Bowling. Obviously, we still have the World Championship. And I think that will air on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah,
can't remember. I think it's Sunday. Was there something you wanted to do?
I'm just going to look at the information on how much all of these are worth.
$25,000.
Prize fund, yeah. Okay,
first. What about that all piece?
Well, Scorpion. So I'm just pulled up the Scorpion. First is 20, second 13.5, third is 10, fourth is 7,500, and fifth is 6,000.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I don't know. And he finished second on the Albee show. I think that was probably because it was a single tournament, so I think it was worth a little bit more, but. He's got a couple thirds and whatever. So, I mean, at the World Series, he's already won $50,000-$60,000.
Oh yeah, the World Series just made his season, even though he already won the U.S. Open. So he's got $100,000 in the U.S. Open plus what he's done here. He's had a great year. Plus what he makes. I mean, he already makes money with Motive. Him and his wife live pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Packers pushing to get the push-tush banned, if y'all did not see it, that's not going to happen. If they didn't ban it last year, I don't think they'll ban it this year. Just learn how to stop it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. All right, so we're so the MLB season is starting, and they're in Japan apparently.
Nope, it's over. They already did the 2 games. It's done.
Okay.
Doesn't start till next Thursday. MLB season started. We had 2 games. We had a game yesterday this morning, and those are just the 2 games of the Tokyo Series. Yes, they did count for the MLB season. It officially doesn't start for the rest of the league until next Thursday.
Okay.
So, I don't like it when they do that crap. I think it's stupid, but I understand.
Yeah, because it's like
go over there and play exhibition games. I don't understand why we have to go over there and play regular season games. If it parlayed into the season, no big deal. But they literally do that, and then they go back to spring training. It's just silly to me. But whatever. Anyway, I'm done. Clowning off everything here.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. We actually had some stuff to talk about tonight and got to run alongside things. And so we'll be on in a couple weeks. And I think we will have Dylan and Trevor on in a couple weeks to talk more nationals. They're still in first place for
Doubles.
1408, I believe is the number.
1408 is the number. Yes, sir.
And Dylan he shot 2137, I think, for all events. So
and he got knocked down twice this week.
Yeah, but he's still in the top 5 currently. And then, so yeah, I think one of them had a pretty good singles set too. Or I think Dylan was in first place in singles for a minute as well.
No, neither of us were in. None of them were in first in singles. Trevor had a chance to get first in singles, and he didn't strike in the second bowl in the 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dylan shot 690 in singles.
Okay. Yep. So, yeah. So we'll see in another couple weeks what shakes out there, and then we'll have Ozarks to talk about. There's a lot of people who go to that. That's outside of nationals, it's the largest, longest running tournament in the country, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that go to that.
That adds in our same too, because Trevor and Dylan and I all go to Springfield this weekend too.
Yeah.
So we all three of us can talk about it.
Yeah. So, Yep, we'll be back on in a couple weeks, and that's what we'll have to talk about. Little nationals, little Greater Ozarks, and a couple more PBA tournaments. We'll have the World Championship and then the Masters to talk about. So
it is still windier than crap outside.
Yeah, I've got to go let the dogs out here now and see what kind of nonsense we have going on outside. You ready?
Yeah, it's a lot. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, watching the World Series of Bowling while chatting with us two idiots. And, yeah, I'll holler at you guys in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.